Data Slate Day. Welcome to Comp Play.
Hello.
How is everyone?
How are you?
I'm right, mate. I'm right. I had a lovely weekend in Lancing.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that right now. This week on Comp Play, Data Slate Day. Where's Gravis Calgar Gone? Right. What's happened with Renegade Warband? Have they done enough to Necrons? We will answer all of these questions and many, many more during the course of our live show.
And did they triple tap ultras like you promised?
They got touched. They got touched, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So yeah, balanced Data Slate Day, Tim. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, off the bat, this might be the last Data Slate of 10th edition 40k.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's true, it is fairly inscrutable and weird. It is not the it doesn't fix all the things that were wrong with the game.
It really doesn't.
It fixes some...
Lots of points changes.
Yeah.
A couple of little rule changes, small rule changes. And I think we're probably in much the same place we were before. But we shall see. We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah.
I think we should crack straight into it, mate.
Let's go straight into it.
Get straight into it this week.
I want us to look at... We're here on the day, eerily timely of us.
Yes.
And we dropped everything to stream for you guys. And so we're going to go through this in irritating detail. So let's start by looking at all of the points. You want to look at all of the points?
Let's look at all the points.
Let's look at all the points.
That's how it's done.
Yeah. Let's crack things off.
Sam,
you pop the points on the screen.
Thanks, sir.
We'll start. No changes for sisters.
So can we just so there were a few leaks this week, right? Which were absolute nonsense. It seems absolute rubbish.
Oh yeah, we thought that the C'tans would lose their 5-up feel no pain.
There was talk of FMP changing. There was talk of a couple Adeptus Sororitas points drops. They did not happen.
No.
If just for the record, if you're a top 10% Elo player, Adeptus Sororitas are the second best army in the game at this moment in time.
Is that right?
So I think they're probably going to be quite good still. Sisters are like one of those armies, like Thousand Suns, they still have lots of damage, but they're a glass cannon.
Yep.
And so in the right hands, they were perfect in a C'tan meta, in a whole meta, and what have you.
Also, if you roll enough sixes at the top of the game, you get
you can fix your dice. Yeah, you can fix your dice. You can
have sixes. So this is it for sisters. If you're a sisters player, this is it for the rest of 10th. I hope you're happy.
I think out of 10, sisters are probably, I think they're a good 8 out of 10 at this moment in time, and anyone who thinks otherwise is a liar.
I think Games Watch will agree with you.
Yes, yeah.
They didn't touch them. They did touch Custodes a little. The guard went up 10 points per... Oh, that's interesting. 10 points for 4 models, but also another 10 points for the 5th model.
Yes, yes. So I think they lost 2 guard per army.
Yeah, it was weird. You were seeing lists where it was just loads of guard and not even bringing wardens.
Yeah, and I think a few people were still running 4s.
Yeah.
So maybe lost a unit of Sisters of Silence. My biggest surprise here is the Land Raider did not get touched. So for some reason, Custodes Land Raiders, they hit on 2s, bloody everything. Did not get put up.
How many points is it? Where is it?
220, I think.
I'm not even seeing it.
I think you have to go a bit further down. I think it's on the next page for the
No. Where's the?
It didn't go up. It didn't go up. Is the point?
Wait, is this a Calgar situation? Did they accidentally delete something? Oh, there it is. Venerable Land Raider, 220 points.
Yeah, 220 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still pretty cheap.
That's cannons they hit on 2s.
Yeah.
I think it's got a few more guns, the standard Space Marine version as well, which is a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I think Custodes also got away scot-free from this. I think they use a Sisters of Silence unit, and I think you're just playing mini golden C'tans. You're just
I think they're fine. I think
smash a loads of 4 up.
The double Land Raider list is fine. You still take loads of guard.
Yeah. So I think Custodes probably a good 8 out of 10.
Are you going to review every single one?
Yeah, I'm going to rate every single army.
Okay, you're going to give AdMech 8 out of 10 as well. So
AdMech have really suffered recently, haven't they? So there was a time they were not quite as egregious as Necrons are at the moment, but they were pretty close. And in the right hands, they're a very, very good army. They got bottomed out a little bit. They've got this new unit, and they've got the new Kim Kardashian big bum special character.
Yeah.
But they didn't get anything this slate.
They're fine. If you're good with AdMech, you're good with AdMech. They've got the -1 OC unit.
Yeah.
That wins games.
Yeah. I
think they're still good. I think more and more people are taking salamanders, which means there's a lot more good Overwatch meta, which they don't like because they're squishy.
Yeah. Exactly that.
I think that's it, really.
Yeah, I think that was all the changes. I don't think any enhancements changed on the next page.
No, that's it.
No, that's just a dataslate.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
We can skip over.
I reckon they're 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Maybe a 7 out of 10 in the right hands. Codex Eldari. Eldari got absolutely trousered, didn't they? Got absolutely.
Not this time around, but recently.
They did. Yeah, they did recently get pumped. And they've had one character go up because
they've had their wraiths go down.
Yes, so
which no one seems that impressed by because it doesn't really unlock that style of play.
No, it doesn't. I know. Shout out to Ross Tully, our hobby henchman buddy, Vanguard Tactics. He was thinking about when we went to Thailand. He was thinking about taking like a Wraith Guard, Wraith Lord list. So I do wonder, Ross, do let us know if you're thinking about running that again. But very similar to Sisters, Eldari right now. Glass cannons, very good in good hands.
Yeah.
They are not the army they once were, where they could move jank and like be completely uninteractive and what have you.
It is never fun when they're good. So
no, it's never fun. I do think, having played, shouts to Brandon, having played his Quins this weekend, I do think Quins aren't in too bad a spot at this time. But yeah, Eldari. I think again, probably a good 7 out of 10. I think in the right hands, glass cannons, a few changes. The character, remind me what this character does. This.
No idea.
Okay. I think this is the one that kind of replaced a lot of the aspect lords in lists. And therefore kind of got
someone in chat tell us what Azaman does.
I can't remember what Azaman does. But yeah. Again, very, very, very little happened with Eldari. For an army that have been, I feel like they're like the closet poster boys of GW.
No, that's Orks.
No, see, no, I think Eldari are one of those armies that have always been like given like a good ride, and they've been around since first edition and like have been really, really strong. I feel like they got surprisingly neutered. But yeah,
they have a really like strong aesthetic that has carried through all the way since second edition. I think Games Workshop really like the models. They're getting new models.
Yeah.
The new Viper's cool.
So Rob's just said that it's the one character that can still shoot and get back into a transport after
cool.
Dragon's got absolutely gutted.
Hate that mechanic.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, the theme of this balanced data slate is they're not really touching the armies that aren't busted.
No, exactly. And it doesn't seem to be a bit of anyone being brought up a bit.
Nah.
Is the thing.
Astra
Militarum.
So they just got a couple nerfs to Rogal Dawns.
Yeah. I think Guard probably will be close to the best army in the game now after this.
Even you, I don't. I think it's still Necrons and Space Marines.
No. So I think Dawn.
Dan's nodding.
Yes, see, I think he agrees.
I don't think you see any tanks in it.
Yeah, I don't think you see any tanks. I think the Horde Guard mob, Flip OC, the like ridiculous amount of shooting units you can still get in Grizzled Guard, even losing the ones to reroll ones to wound. I think they might have pulled a bit of a heist here, Seth.
I played Stuart's. I said last week that I had a league game that got cancelled, so we just played it for fun. But I played his Grizzled, and he had 2 Rogal Dawns in it. I think they were both commanders. It's really efficient being able to give orders out of a tank and still have a shooting platform.
And obviously now there's many more infantry orders in Grizzled. Yeah. I think Grizzled are really strong right now.
Yeah, it's strong.
Interesting fact, Grizzled are, for any faction in the game, they're the most taken single detachment for an army. So something like 93% of Astra Militarum players in competitions play Grizzled.
Put it this way, he had 2 units of 6. Are they come in 6 Bullgrins? I think they come in units of 6, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
2 units of them. I was running my Taliban Death Guard, so I've got my 6-inch deep strike. So I've got 2 units of 3 Death Shroud, and a Lord of Contagion with extra attacks, and a Lord of Virulence, and a Great Unclean one going into 2 units of Bulgrins that didn't kill them.
That sounds about right to
Yeah.
me. I think they're going to be in a good spot. I'm like, I was surprised by Custodes. I was very surprised by Astra Militarum. I think, all you guys with flat tops and army surplus trousers are going to be killing it out there. Well done to you.
I don't think these Grizzled lists go up 15 points, maybe 30.
Doesn't
matter.
I think, like I said, I think we don't see as many tanks.
Yeah, I think I've heard the list is going to be it's called like Grizzled Element or something like that, where you essentially do recon element.
Yeah,
but you just take loads of like scions.
Yes,
and you take loads of like the special boys. A couple of transports.
Yeah. Because still with first rank fire, second rank fire, they absolutely beast anything. Giving them AOC was really, really smart as well. So, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Astra Militarum 8, possibly 9 out of 10. A soft 9.
All right.
Maybe a hard
soft 9. All right. Let's move on. Black Templars got a buff to big bricks of Crusaders.
Yes, just what the game needed. I mean, they're another one who got absolutely trousered. Repexes went up for them. I think like they were the Trojan horse for Repexes in this meta.
Well, their Repexes were already expensive, and they did not go up this time.
They didn't go up this time, but they were. I think everyone sussed that Repexes were good because of Black Templars.
Yeah,
and obviously they're oath agnostic still, aren't they? In a lot of detachments.
People are talking about Bastion Black Templars because you take a lot of battle line, and then everything's getting +1 to hit or whatever it does.
+1 AP.
And it can all advance and charge, advance and action, and all that stuff. It seems
it's basically Renegade Raiders for Codex Marines, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Black Templars. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Hot take. Black Templars are going to be one of the more improved factions of this slate, purely because of that Bastion build. Because also I think they were at like 43% or something. They were not performing well, and I think you're going to get one specific build that absolutely flies. and no one else takes anything else.
What's happened the last 6 months, I reckon, is Necrons are so oppressive that the meta didn't really get to breathe. People didn't get to like try different lists. Everyone was just concerned about how they kill C'tan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's been fixed this time around, but if this is the last data slate of the edition, people are going to discover some new lists.
Yes, no, exactly that. I think it's done just enough.
Yeah.
That there's going to be a bit more experimentation. But everyone, Victrix came along. Everyone was like, "Oh, how am I going to kill 4 things with 4 wounds and -1 to wound?" C'tan come along. How am I going to kill something that's suddenly toughness 11, 16 wounds, 3 up, 4 up, 5 up, feel no pain? The meta's just been tuned into and like holes as well. So we kind of like we've had a hyper elite meta now for 2.5 months. I think we might see a bit of a shift, and I think Black Templars might be one of the ones we see that have. Yeah,
I hope so. I haven't even fought into a C'tan yet. I don't want to, so I hope the meta just changes and I never have to. I'd much rather shoot the face.
Sold out everywhere. I mean, So, right. Black Templars, I will give them a 6.5 out of 10.
All right.
Now,
Blood Angels.
So
they are suddenly super strong, I reckon, and it's not because of this.
So Astrath might get some play now. Good for him. He's a cool model.
Is he the lone op guy?
No, he's the one with the axe over his head and the wings.
Oh, right,
he was like when he came out and everyone saw that he had wings, and then the new Sangard didn't have wings. Big sad BA players.
Yeah.
But yes.
We'll talk. Okay, I'll just go into because they got their Sanguinary Priest. Got a rules change where they can now attach to Blade Guard. Yes. And what a Sanguinary Priest does is he gives the unit +1 AP and, more importantly, 5 up, feel no pain.
Yes.
So you can have 3x6 Blade Guards with 4 up invulns, 5 up, feel no pain, 3 wound models. That is my kind of army.
Blood Angels just got Victrix Guard.
Yeah.
That's what happens. They are going to be really, really good. I think Rage Curse Onslaught was kind of doing okay in the meta. Again, tuned in a little bit to what was happening with C'tan. Big damage army. That Death Company brick absolutely like kills absolutely anything in the game, and it fights with death. And they got ton of pain and I think now they've got another really good beat stick to go in amongst the other really good beat sticks. That is actually just got a little bit more durability. And that was kind of what they were missing. It was very reliant on like standard marine bodies. Sandguards Sandguard are obviously fairly durable, but yeah, everything else kind of dies to a stiff breeze in a very killy meta because of C'tan. Yeah, Blood Angels. I
just want to put 3x6 Blade Guards in, honestly, in Gladius or Stormlance and just yeet it turn one.
Yeah.
And just go deal with that.
And can I also just say as well, Tim, you refuse to give me credit for this, but there has been, when I was in Thailand, I was talking about the Assault Centurions in a Land Raider.
Yeah, sure.
Or whatever it is, kills a C'tan with grenades, charge or whatever else. I think you can add now that to a build with Blade Guard that are a little bit cheaper than some of their big damage bricks, and you can take a little bit.
Well, I also think you can, because of you have this durable option, you can now effectively jail people.
Yeah.
Not like infiltrator jail, but like you can just yeet these durable things turn one, and that gives you the time to move your Land Raider up, which is the difficult thing.
Exactly.
Like if you don't, because otherwise Blood Angels, they have like fast, squishy stuff, and it doesn't push the opponent back. And so you're not getting your Land Raider into position. But so yeah, I do think your Assault Centurions are going to go.
And also they solve the problem they've got of like tons of damage too as well.
Yeah.
Again, meta with -1 damage. So many detachments, not just C'tan who've got that, but like loads of different detachments, models, things got -1 damage now. I think they solved that problem a little bit as well. So you get you put that in against a big lump, and it is killing said big lump.
They're just
surviving, we can't say.
They're also just really funny models with their like fists that go like this. Nobody clicked that, right? So Blood Angels 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and I think a good 8. I think a good 8. I think they're still they're still a melee army, and melee armies are always kind of they flip flop a lot.
Well, they don't have to be. You can just put tanks. The Space Marines put tanks in there.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's fine.
So yeah, I think Blood Angels are going to be good.
Yeah,
Callum, big up to you, mate.
Just run them in Gladius.
Yeah, exactly. Chaos Demons.
They just nerfed the triple chickens, didn't they?
Yes, triple chickens, Lord of Change, Kairos. They have nerfed it. They have also increased the price of the Puppeteer enhancement.
Yeah. So that's gone up. Ooh, 15 points.
Yes.
So after you're taking 3 Lords of Change usually.
Yeah.
So that's
45 plus the 10 for Kairos.
70 points up.
70 points up.
So then you lose. You already don't have enough pieces in this list.
Yes.
So you lose a whole piece. Like
this is going to be my other hot take. I think demonic incursion is good again. I think you're going to see a little bit more demonic incursion off the back of this.
Is that the index one?
Yes, I think it is. Yeah. I think demons are actually going to be alright. It's just not going to be the chicken.
What happened to Fade Thirster Demons? That was a good list.
I don't know what it is.
You know what that is?
Sounds like a barber's.
It's the Bellacory one where you put an enhancement on a on a Bloodthirster where at the end of the fight phase, if it killed something, it goes back into the sky.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. No, I think they'd be good. But no, Scintillating has now gone from like a good 7, 8 to probably a 6 because they just lost an asset.
And good.
Frankly. Yeah. Demonic Incursion, however, I think you've probably gone to a 7 to 8.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a few Demons players out there looking at that thinking, actually not bad.
So we're using like units of 3 flamers is what you were shooting through usually. You've just lost a whole one of those.
Yeah.
Out of this list.
As well. But yeah.
So when I played Liam's version of this in our league, he was running 3 Laws of Change and Kairos. You could just run the 2 Laws of Change and like have some scoring pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe there's still a list in that, but
yeah, I think there is.
Demons is always. I didn't I say this? I predicted this that they would just ruin it.
Yeah. So Scintillating, then normal Demon Incursion up.
Cool. There's loads of play in Demons. I hope someone figures out something.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. I think they still like a decent little stat check. It's Chaos Knights. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Still probably rubbish. Still suffer into what is quite an oppressive damage meta. It's not a no news is good news situation, sadly, is it? I think, sorry, Chaos Knight players, I think you're not in a great spot.
I think Knights players should be grateful that they're still an army.
and we would,
and not just allies.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully Chaos Knights will get that midnight. Midnight. Yeah, Chaos Knights. Sorry, guys, you didn't get much. Big sad.
CSM.
So they reduced the cost of the second oath in the new detachment that we were raving about.
Yeah.
Last week, everyone was raving about it, said it was fantastic.
This is Renegade Warband.
Yeah, right? Warband. The second oath now has to have line of sight. So it used to be that you could do it off the table. If you're in deep.
I think that's a good change. I've got to say.
I think it's a good change.
Yeah.
I think it's good. And now it's halved in price. I think it is, or like dropped 20 points. However, they have absolutely gutted its Renegade Warband, and they can't take allied units from the other Chaos God denominations. So everyone was getting really excited about Noise Marines, for example, and you can't take Noise Marines in a detachment.
This is also a good change.
Because
the whole point was that they're not allied to a god.
Exactly.
So,
the flavour, yes, but you can still take Nurglings, mate. So, yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah, all that fuss running a warband, possibly one of the best attachments in the game.
I would say about this, just chill. Like, everyone was excited that it was going to be broken good, right? Yeah. It still has the best rules in the game.
Yes.
It's still got everything that Gladius has.
Okay.
Like, you can still advance and do stuff. You still fall back and do stuff. You can do that whenever you like.
Yeah.
Those are good rules.
Yeah.
It might be that CSM's damage is not there for this to be super competitive. But, like, if you like playing good Warhammer, it still lets you do that.
It still suffers from my big damage brick is a quarter of my army's cost. Sorry, guys. CSM. We thought you had a moment there. I believed for a moment. Game is good when CSM is good. Sorry, guys. I think you're probably a 5 or 6 out of 10.
Just go back to playing the one where you get AP when you shoot an objective.
Yeah. And like the Huron detachment is quite good, and like it's probably got some play. Like Liam VSL does his thing, and he goes and smashes the world. Punches the world in the penis every time that he plays. Sadly, not many of us are Liam VSL. So probably.
You're going to say, sadly, not many of us get punched in the penis.
Someone's paid good money for that service.
All right.
So yes, maybe a 6-7, not like in the kids' way. No, not a 6-7. Not a 6-7 to be fair.
6-7, mate. Yeah, we're young.
6-7, we're young.
Right. Let's move on before we embarrass ourselves further. Dark Angels, no changes.
Nothing. Wrath of the Rock will still be a very good list. I think you're probably 6 out of 10.
Death Guard, the Demon Prince with wings that no one takes, got a 15-point buff.
So you are currently.
I am building Death Guard. Okay. Yeah, I've played one game and I won, which means it's a great army. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed a change. They've got good data sheets. It's fine. I'm happy.
What does their Demon Prince do? What's different? Do you know?
He gives like an aura of stealth or something, or maybe that's the other one. He's not very good. The other one is better because it does CP reduction and has low NOP.
Okay. Yeah. So meta at the moment as well. I think they're a good 7.
Yeah, they're good. They're where they should be. Like
where they should be. Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
They've got good data sheets, but you have to play well to win with them.
Yes, yeah, and they're still kind of they kind of always been what they are, if that makes sense. There's not been a huge variation like throughout this edition for DG. Like they've always kind of been the what they are. Does that make sense?
Their internal balance is terrible because their best. Oh, we got internet problems. Okay. We all good? Sorry, we had internet problems. A little bit internet problems. Okay, I'll talk slowly.
Or really quickly.
Their best data sheets, like the floaty bloat drone with the gun and the Death Shroud Terminators, so good.
Yep.
Lord of Contagion, Lord of Virulence, amazing data sheet. So you in them, but then you end up taking the same unit.
Yes, yeah.
But that's just internal balance problem.
Yeah.
I think there's like 3 valid attachments. I think you can play Taliban, you can play Virulent Vectorum, and you can play Hammer.
Yeah. No, exactly.
That's fine.
So yeah, I think they're a good 7.
I think they're a good 7. Yeah.
I think what we may they may react quite well to what I perceive as maybe a bit of a change in the meta. And what I mean by that is Astra Militarum probably going a little bit more guard horde. Tons of anti-infantry. Still do well into the transports, etc. Always been a fairly decent damage army. It all depends about where the ceiling has changed in terms of Necrons stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they're going to struggle to kill a Nightbringer.
Yes, they are.
Deathwatch were one of the best, no changes.
Yeah, so the I can't remember the name of it. The Desolation, the one that's basically intercessors Desolation.
That's the Fortis or Indomitor.
That's Fortis. So obviously,
wait, that's 180 points.
Yes. So just when you think about it, 5 Desolation Marines are 200 points. And you get 2 Desolation Marines in this unit. So that's 80 points in and of itself. You've then got 4 Hellblasters, if I remember correctly, which is a 110 point unit. Basically, they're quite undercosted at this time. Innis, and there's a Swedish player whose name I don't remember at this moment in time, who's been absolutely smashing it with Deathwatch in teams. And Boxy as well, Vanguard Tactics. Second most handsome out of 40k after me. Has been doing great with them. So they're another one that seemed to, again, high damage ceiling, like very, very good against certain armies, etc. I think they're in a good spot. Again, completely unchanged.
They're kind of like super easy to play around, though. Like if you have lots of skirmish pieces, you can just push back. Just uppy downy.
Yeah, no, exactly. You like
they're great in a meta which is teching against C'tans and bringing fewer but harder hitting pieces.
Yes, exactly.
But if we manage to skew away from that meta and people can bring skirmish units again, you just push back their uppy downy and they lose.
Exactly. So like an army that is, in a meta that is already kind of hyper elite.
Exactly.
Then they do all right. So probably a 7 out of 10, I think.
Okay.
6 out of 10. No, 8
out of 10. Come on. 8.
Codex Drukhari.
Drukhari. The Scourges that no one takes. Got a buff. Homunculus that people sometimes take. Does the Homunculus give out the pain tokens? Do we still have pain tokens in Drukhari?
Yes, they do still have pain tokens.
All right.
So Drukhari are another one that weirdly have not been great in terms of win rate, but it goes quite well. Oh, sorry, when you win a high elo, they perform quite well. But yeah, I think they're probably There was a lot of rumor about them changing the charge at the end of the movement phase strat, wasn't there? That didn't happen.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk about something else changing, which didn't happen. No points changes, no changes to enhancements. Homunculus and the unit that no one really takes to them gets dropped. I think they're probably still quite good.
Sam, you can put Nick's face on the screen.
Thank you. I think they're probably still quite good. So yeah, no one takes racks. Yeah, I think they'll be okay. I don't think there's any change in terms of what people play. I don't think there's any change.
No,
I think they performed quite well as like an OC, like an OBSEC army, like an old school OBSEC army.
Yeah.
Who've got
an annoying army.
Yeah, annoying and frustrating, and they have like some decent damage in spurts, but they're frustrating to play against. They play the game of Warhammer quite well. I think Drukhari probably still like a 7 out of 10. Good in the right hands. They don't have some of the damage of some of the other like glass hammer like armies that are out there. Scari's still probably gonna doing exceptionally well with them. But yeah, I think
5 racks for 60 points is their cheapest unit with more than one model in it. There's a world where like you had a list that had 60 points left, and now you get to take one more screening piece.
Yes, no, exactly.
Maybe that's helpful.
Yeah, so Drukhari did well. 7, maybe 8 out of 10. Feeling good. Emperor's Children.
Yeah, You just gave up Emperor's Children.
Yeah, and I still don't think they're in a good spot. Chaos, their Terminators dropped. No one
cares about
that. Flawless Blaze, like getting a bit of a downward trend is good. Yeah, I think, and Tormentors for some reason have got a bit of a drop at 10. But no one took them in units of 10 anyway. They only take them with units of 5. No, 2 units of 5.
They do sticky.
Yeah, they're great sticky. They hold home. Yeah, I think they're still not very good. I'm afraid it would have been nice to have seen some slightly different changes. Sorry, EC players, as a fellow purple wearing possible pervert.
Pervert. You know that they can be good in the right hands. They're ever so slightly cheaper on some units that you are actually going to take. Well, Flawless Blades.
Yeah.
How many of them do you take?
I sometimes took 3 at the end of my
one unit of 3.
1 unit of 3 because then
so you lost 10. You got 10 points of tank.
Exactly. So I think if I remember correctly, like most of the list that I had ended up at about 1985, like 1,985 points. Flawless Blaze dropping by 10 means you might be able to take an enhancement on like the slight variations of the good lists that are out there.
Yeah.
Which kind of is then possibly like, that's pushing Cacophonist into being very decent, I think. So yeah. I think they're still not in a great place, I'm afraid.
All right.
I think, like you say, like good high skill ceiling army, 6 out of 10.
Oh, rude. All right. GC the Cults didn't get any changes.
No, still quite good. Didn't Naz? I think Naz did really well with Biocentic with them recently. I think they're still kind of like a good army. I think it's interesting you said about like Deathwatch are kind of like easy to play around. I think people have sussed out these types of armies now where they come back and deep strike a lot. People we're in that part of the edition where everyone has got their screening hats on, and I think that they're probably they're still an alright army. They're good fun. They're topical. They play like they're supposed to play.
Yeah, I think there's a pattern here, which is most of these armies were good enough that if you were a good player and you really liked this army, you could do okay with them, and that's good.
Yeah,
we don't want any army to be like a no-brainer that you have to switch to it to try and win an event. We don't want that. So yeah.
So I think GSC will be okay. Speaking of not okay, Kona's Grey Knights. You got so Terminator squads have dropped a little bit. I'm not sure how that affects most lists.
I haven't seen a Terminator in a Grey Knights list in
I was just thinking. I think right at the beginning of the new codex, I think I saw some of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Grey Knights players, you're probably still in the bin a little bit.
It's another army
refresh in 11th, I'm sure, and then you'll be in a really, really nice place, and you'll get another kit to adapt the baby carriers, and you'll be happy with it.
It's another army that's easy to play around, but unlike Deathwatch, they don't have bananas output.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Deathwatch have fantastic output across various different units.
Yeah,
indirect off the board. These guys have kind of got some all right flavors, and they've got a Thunderhammer.
In the first mission pack, secondaries were much harder to score.
Yes,
and Grey Knights were just really good at scoring secondaries, and that was actually a benefit for them. Whereas now it's so easy to score secondaries.
Yeah, no, because once upon a time it's like get within 9 inches of a corner and like whatever else, and now it's like go into a terrain piece.
Yeah, you can literally
ruin.
You know that ruin that you were staged behind when you deployed. Walk in there and action.
Exactly. Just don't die. Just don't die for a turn. 3 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, they. Sorry, Grey Knights players. I don't think you're in a very good spot. I don't think it was enough. I seem to be pretty consistently.
3 out of 10.
3, 4 out of 10. Sorry.
I'm going to scroll right past Imperial.
Well, no. Actually, no. Hold fire there. So the other thing. So Draxus was getting a little bit play in Custodes, as was Inquisitor, and I think there was a couple of other armies that were kind of taking them. So this is a bit of a nerf for Custodes. But again, I think the Custodes have kind of pivoted away. So yeah,
I keep making lists where I take 3 whirlwinds and put Cotiaz in my list because he can stand behind a wall and give 18-inch ignores cover. With that, he doesn't need line of sight. His eagle flies.
Oh, I see.
Touches something and ignores cover. And then you whirlwind it at AP2 ignores cover.
That's pretty good.
I keep writing those lists and then never play them.
Never play them.
Obviously stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see that he's not gone up in points.
So sorry, Max. Imperial Agents still dumpster. Codex Imperial Knights. Armiger. 1 or 2 went down. I think they probably do a little bit better. I think there's probably still both Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights have still probably got the 5 bigs in teams play, right? I think there's still going to be a bit of an awkward out for some, some teams lists, but I think they're not in a very good spot either.
That's good. It's a light touch, and that's a good thing because the game sucks when Knights are good.
Yes, no, it is really, really bad. My kind of surprise about them turning Necrons, the C'tan basically into what was a knight.
Yeah.
And not necessarily learning from that experience.
Look, I can say this with a clean conscience, but collecting knights is a hobbyist pursuit.
Yeah.
It's not a competitive pursuit. And I can say that with a clean conscience because I collect Imperial Fists, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't get to be good.
Yeah.
You just get to buy your toys.
Your toys. You get to have Gundam.
At least you get to pretend they're blue, though.
I do get to pretend they're blue, yeah. Yeah. Well, you can put these in other armies.
Yeah, you can. You can ally them.
You can ally them in.
2,000 points of them.
No, exactly.
Lend them to me. I'll put them in my Imperial Fist. We'll have 2 bad armies.
No, exactly.
Right.
So yeah, the Imperial Knights. Sorry, guys, you're all right. Leagues.
We're gonna have a new one soon.
Yes, the midnight.
We are going to have the medium-sized knight that we're calling the Midnight.
Yeah, the 6/7 knight.
Very clever. Don't know how this changes things.
No, I don't think it does really. Well, yeah, we'll have to see the days.
Unless you just costed like really, really well, and he fits in like when it's 4 big knights, 2 medium knights, then you're like just
Like, what does it? What have we seen a data sheet?
No,
no, not yet. So I think he probably all the talk of the rocket boosters. I think he probably gets advance and charge. I think that's probably where it's at, isn't it? Or he gets a good scout move.
But what is he like? 16 wounds, 12 wounds. Like how medium is he?
No, we don't know yet.
We don't know. All right,
we don't know.
I think it'll be the gun platform of a big knight, but with less wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just going to be an Imperial Defiler.
Yeah,
but not as cool as a Defiler. Yeah.
So
all right.
You did all right, but you're still not great. Leagues of Votann. They got their new character, who is 110 points, I think he is, who actually looks quite fun. He's got good flat 3 damage.
This guy, Baronek.
Yeah, he 110, that's it. So he attaches to Zerks, and he lets them heroic for free. And I think it's not...
Gives them sustained.
Yes.
Has a decent enough melee profile.
Yeah, good field note. He's quite robust. I think... So Votann armies have been susceptible to pressure and have been since 10th edition started. They needed something... I know speaking to some other Votann players that they like a couple of Zerks on the line, so they're a good heroic threat and you can stretch people out and what have you. If you... I think he wasn't a bad pick if he wasn't 110 points. If he was like 60, 70. But the thing is...
He is very notably more expensive than 5 more Berserk.
Yes, exactly.
Would you rather have the stain 1 or twice as many?
Exactly. So I think if he came in at like 80 points, I think a lot of Leagues of Votann players would be licking their lips. I think he could have solved an issue that they have and hasn't. So I still think Votann are in like a decent spot. I think they're a strong 7 out of 10, good, honest Warhammer army. They did perform quite well into C'tan and Holzbam because their damage output has always been good and their Hermes are really, really good. And everyone's always like, how much does that unit cost? That's if I'm ever at a GT or an event and there's people playing Votann like a couple of tables down, every single time I hear, how much does that unit cost when it comes down and it absolutely like obliterates something off the board?
It's not the one thing it obliterates; it's the other thing, and then the other thing.
It's the Overwatch. Yeah, no, exactly. So they park here, they kill one thing, and then there's this absurd Overwatch threat when something else moves as
and
well.
then they charge and just pick up everything else as well.
Yes, exactly.
Very good unit.
Yeah, and I agree. I think he needs to be like,
they get a lot of. It's a cool army right now. Like they have like infiltrating dudes. They have good transports. They have indirect that's like viable. It's not amazing, but it does do a slowing thing, whatever it does. They've got like good shooting. They've got good melee. They've got a big tank if you want a big tank.
Yes, no, exactly. Yeah, forts have kind of disappeared. The strategies have disappeared a little bit, haven't they? That kind of army archetype of like lots of transports, good scout dump stuff has kind of changed a little bit. But they still
but the Capri Sun with some dudes in it is still a thing.
Yeah.
I like Votann. Votann are cool.
Yeah, Votann are good. I think they're in a decent spot. I think that they're one of those armies that, as the meta shifts around them, they kind of naturally adapt quite nicely. Haven't got a huge amount of data sheets, but they've got quite a few good ones. So I think votes might actually come out of this quite well, depending on, again, it's all dependent on the ceiling of Necrons, which we're almost getting to.
Just a shame Iron Jacks went a little bit better.
Yeah, Iron Jacks are a like cool little unit, but the little ball bearing head things are
yeah.
Right.
All right.
This is what you all came for.
There we go.
So.
Oh no, broken my laptop.
This is a spinning window. So.
10 points is not very much.
It's not a lot, is it? Let's be honest. So. All the C'tan have gone up, right? Not a huge amount. Let's be real. Necrosaur has gone up a considerable amount, and he's still very good. He's almost Primarch level, and he costs 185 points. They have changed quite a lot, however. So
they made it so his buffs don't work on C'tan.
Yes. So for those who don't know, the detachments. So Star Shatter has changed, and Necrosaur ability has changed. So they no longer necessarily buff anything with the monster keyword. Now, Necrosaur, what people would do is it would be destroy a cult's model first, would be and get the first buff, unless there's another unit closer. And so people would kind of you'd put Necrosaur, you park him up kind of in a ruin like near the middle, and then he'd either give like Wraith sustained, or you'd park a couple of C'tan next to it and then give them sustained on whatever they do. I don't think they've done enough. I think the specific Necrons detachment has been trousered. So because the C'tan have gone up, and if you just scroll down to the enhancements, please, Tim. So what they've done is the Pantheon of one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
you could only take one of them, or could you take all of them?
No. So what Pantheon of Woe did is, if you took certain C'tan, then you had to take these enhancements on said C'tan. So the Deceiver got like Vect and what have you.
Okay, so in that detachment, the C'tans have essentially gone up 25 each,
and that was the biggest problem for Necrons after Star Shatter. So
but also the fact that you could just take three C'tans and just yeet them.
Yes,
and
I know. It's like I've just acquired a Necron army because, like I said, I'm chasing and I want to win some events at the end of the edition. I'm not proud of it. However, I'm not going to be playing smooth brain, put C'tan on objectives and gamble on 4-ups. I'm just not doing it. I'm going to come close, but I'm not doing it. So I think that army archetype for them is still kind of there. I think we're still in a Necron meta, guys.
Yeah, I think I'm still going to have to figure out how to kill 3 of these things.
Yeah.
And I don't want.
Yeah, I think that they've definitely shifted slightly from the 4 C'tan, Silent King. Literally just go deal with that and see what you can do with it. And then if you can't deal with that, then you're going to lose 3-4 units. The next turn.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough. I think Necrons. I think Guard are going to be really good. I think Necrons are still going to be really good. I think Sisters are probably still going to be really good because the armies that were hanging around to counter this threat of C'tan are still, didn't really get touched, and C'tan have just, Necrons have come down just a touch, and so yeah, I think they're still a good 8 out of 10 army, possibly a 9 out of 10. Very, very good in the right hands. People who play them well. But it's
easily a 9.
Necrons will do that thing when they'll just park in front of you and you've got to deal with them. But if you play the macro game like really, really well, as well, they're good.
Can we all agree that no one would be sad if you could only take one C'tan in the list?
So you want epic hero. Basically, one is an epic hero, and that's it. Maybe you can take and then you can maybe get a transcendent C'tan as well.
Yeah, it does piss me off, like this idea that like these gods or Primarchs or these special characters, they're just like on every battlefield across the 41st.
They're basically now,
yeah. Oh, that L-shaped ruin is under threat. I need to turn up.
Yeah, this god needs to say this 5-inch square.
All right, so
Necrons
still good,
very good, very, very good in the right hands.
Right. Orks didn't get touched. Orks are in a sad place.
Well, they were doing okay. Well, because the other side of this, so this is maybe where I see things going as well. Like I said with Guard, because you've lost a bit of sustained on C'tan. Yeah, you've lost a bit of sustained on that army full stop. I think Horde is back. Yeah, Horde was already teching quite well into them. And I think that Orks played the Horde game really, really well. They didn't get any love this slate, but they still probably do okay into, the Horde army is going to do a little bit better in this meta, I think.
It is still War, Horde, or nothing, though. Yeah. The other detachments are still rubbish.
Yeah.
And as someone who painstakingly kit-bashed an entire tactical brigade detachment...
Yes, yeah, no, exactly.
Can't really play it, it's kind of annoying, but...
And there's rumours around that they will be the army in the 11th edition box set. There's lots of that flying around. So apparently there's new kill teams on the way and a few other bits and pieces. Hopefully they get a lot of love. They get a glow up as they come into 11th. I think they're going to finish this edition okay. I think they're a 6 out of 10 army. But yeah, could have done with a bit of love, I think.
Right. It's our special friends.
Oh.
The Space Marines. Let's talk about the most important thing on this whole page. The lieutenant with combi weapon went up 15 points.
15 points. He has somehow
escaped
any kind of treatment. I think he went up once and he 5 points. Once upon a time, I think in the start edition, wasn't he just like anti-Tyranid 4-up or something?
He was anti-Tyranid.
He was rubbish.
He wasn't called the lieutenant with combi weapon. He was called the lieutenant of the Long War. Yeah. Not the Long War because that's a CSM thing, but something. And he had less good rules.
Yes.
You know what this tells me?
What's that?
They've finally sold the last Leviathan box.
Yeah. Yes.
We've done it.
So we can have the lieutenant with combi weapon.
Stop the supply to Walmart.
It's like Frodo at the end of Lord of the Rings. It's over.
I don't know what everyone else's meta is like. In our meta, everyone hates this guy.
Yeah.
And you get so much shit. You're like, oh, you want that dick.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's rightfully hated, and he's probably one of the best.
It's the best unit.
One of the best characters in the game. Yeah. Probably one of the best data sheets in the game. I think at 85 points, he's still auto take.
He is still auto take. I will just, if I had a list that I absolutely loved, I would just take my infiltrators out and put some intercessors on my home, and I would make it work, and I would just be smarter with my screening.
Exactly. Now, the biggest controversy. Oh, no, sorry. What it's made me talk. So, actually, Blades of Ultramar has been absolutely gutted.
Wardens. Yes, because people were taking double Redemptor,
double Professor Executioner, and the Frath. Wardens of Ultramar were doing the same job as a Grav Cap. Now they've gone up a little bit more.
That's still
those who don't know, Grav Captain goes on middle, tanks loads of damage. Someone has to expose way too much to kill it. Wardens were doing the same kind of thing. Wardens are now 25 points more than the Grav Cap. Blades of Ultramar, and it was only unchanged to enhancements or anything. I don't think it was.
No.
But so Blades probably done. Victory's got away, however, perfectly balanced, as I've said since day one. They were fine at 4 wounds, guys.
Only man saying that.
Nick, in confidence, after playing with Victrix for the first time at an event, admitted that they were cracked. And he won't say it on stream, but he did say it. They are cracked. 2 up save with -1 to wound and armor of 10 and a surge move.
Well, I lost. So again, the Incursion GT this last weekend. Shout out to Luke. Great event. Had some fantastic games. I lost the whole of my Victrix Guard unit to 1 Vindicator Chaos. No, not even a Chaos Vindicator. A Black Temp. No, it wasn't Black Temp. Iron Hands. Sorry, activation. Whole unit gone. You just rolled 3s on every damage. It was just like it should happen. But yeah, Victrix kind of. So the reason that Victrix haven't gone down in points or up in points is because Gravis Calgar has been old yellowed.
He hasn't, no.
He's been taken out back and put down silently. He's not on the MFM.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So we can see, here is Marneus Calgar in Terminator armor. Now, there used to be another Marneus Calgar here, which is the one in Gravis armor. Yep. He's 200 points.
He's no longer there.
He's not there anymore, but he's not been added to Legends.
He's not been added to Legends.
And he's still in the app.
Yeah, because we've not had a faction thing for Space Marines, right? And usually that is what happens when someone goes to Legends.
Yeah, this guy, the one in Terminator armor, his data sheet still says you can't take 2 Marneus Calgar units, which only makes sense if there's another one.
There's another one. And also old Captain Sicarius has gone. Paris is here. So there's a lot of things swirling around the internet at this moment in time. Reddit has shit his pants because Gravis Calgar has apparently disappeared. Now he's still in the app, so anyone who's can go in there after you've updated it, can check he's still there. There's not really, somehow they said, there's been changes to Space Marines in terms of balance on the Warcom article. Neglected to say that they took 2 massive characters that are basically the 2 lesser characters for Ultramarines.
I will bet, I can't prove this, so there's no point betting you any money, but I would bet you a good amount of money this is what's happened. Mm-hmm. Games Workshop knew that they were going to remove these characters at some point, probably in 11th when the Codex comes out. Yeah. They already have that written down, probably on a bit of paper, because I don't think they're very good at product management. They go, at some point, remove these from the slate. Yes, and someone's read that early and done it.
Yes, no, I think so.
It's not supposed to be done yet.
So yeah, we don't know. Is Gravis Calgar still around? They made quite a pointed kind of statement as well in that release to say that, don't worry, Gravis Calgar will still be around for a while. Does this constitute a while? I don't know.
No.
We thought 11th, but yes, Gravis Calgar's gone. Cater Sicarius.
This is interesting, though. What do you do when the app and the PDFs tell you different things about the game?
Yeah, that's been the main.
What's the source of truth? I don't know.
Yeah, because in my head, the MFM is the source of truth because the app has never quite followed, what we see in terms of the slates. So yeah. Gravis Marneus Calgar.
So he's temporarily gone. Can I have a little moan about Redemptors?
Yeah.
I've always run Redemptors.
Yeah, I've loved them for ages.
And Games Workshop can never get the points right.
No.
They should be 200.
No, I think 195. I think
that's what they were.
Yeah, no, I think they were fine at that. It's just they
were fine.
Yeah,
it's just
I think you put the Repex up and you put Wardens up, and I think Redemptors are fine.
Make it a clean 200. Save the Riptide.
Yeah,
fine.
Let me run 2 Redemptors in my not broken Iron Hands.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree.
It's fine.
Agreed. Cool. Space Marines still very good.
Still 9 out of 10 in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
Ultramarines
10. I think an 8. I think they have come down a little bit. That the Blades list was already hyper elite. I think it gets a little bit more elite, depending on, again, if we are going a little bit hoardy. So having played Blades this last weekend, I took double Vindicator instead of double Rep X, and that was a mistake because I really, really struggled against Guard, against Quinn, against Orks. So I just did not have the volume, and Rep X dumps an absolute bucket of dice on the table. And obviously you can rep that. You can buff that with Storm of Fire. And then suddenly you've got just like what is it, 30-something AP1 shots that like absolutely chew through. So you point at a C'tan and you kill it. You point at a skirmish unit and you kill it. I could not do that with Vindicators. So I do think that if the meta does go the way of a little bit more hordy, skirmishy, then Blades probably suffers a little bit as a result. So that's my prediction. 8 out of 10.
I agree with that, but you have really cheap options for you've got JPIs, you've got Infernus Marines.
Yeah.
You can kill Horde.
Yeah, you can.
You got cheap things for killing.
I think Salamanders, by the way, Forge Fathers, Salamanders got out. Oh, they're still really, really good. Shouts to Andy, obviously our teammate, who's been repping them exceptionally well. A couple of GT wins, a few 4-1s in the mix as well. I think they're really, really, really strong. And they had been propping up the Space Marine Codex win rate for a while. I think they will continue to do so. Blades will just take a little bit of a drop. I think both Blades and Necrons are now slightly less smooth brain. They're slightly less push stuff in the middle, what you're going to do about it.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. That's always good for the game. So, yeah. Next.
Moving on. Space Wolves, no changes.
Completely untouched. Still quite good at Stormlance. Will be okay, I think. I think they're probably a good 6 out of 10. No changes. Maybe a 7 out of 10 day. Again, Army you seem to see a lot in teams and do all right. Not very great. They don't do great at
I think
tournaments.
More than any other Divergent Space Marine chapter, they do not have the data sheets to warrant losing +1 to wound.
No.
Sorry, Space Wolves. But you could just play grey Space Marines.
Yes, yeah, they got a nice range refresh, and that's it. Yeah, Space Wolves, okay, nothing good for them.
Now, Tau. They did not get the rumored.
Chicka wow.
They did not get the rumored option for 3 models in a stealth suit.
Yeah, but the stealth suits have gone down 10.
Sam, do you take this?
Yeah, so it used to be 80 points.
Yes.
For 3.
For 3.
They then made them 110 points for 5.
Yeah.
They're now 20 points a pop, each model. So
exactly.
I think it's fine. Yeah. I would happily put 2 of them in my list.
Yeah.
I think there are cheaper options for guiding, but if you are playing stuff that wants guiding, needs that reroll 1 to hit and wound, having 2 of them doesn't feel bad.
Yeah.
If you are able to buff their AP with 1 car, or maybe a rec CAD, or maybe auxiliary CAD, then you can make do every now and then.
Yeah.
They are expensive. I probably would like to see another 10 points off, but I think 100 is fine.
Mm-hmm. No, Tower have been performing exceptionally well for, again, top 10%. I think they're 4th or 3rd or 4th best army, and they just got one of the best data sheets in the game.
Yeah. Sam, if you take the screen now while I just find the data sheet, because we've got to show it.
So, Tau
it's good.
And there's different archetypes of Tau armies that have been performing well, from guerrillas, recruit spam, Rec Cadre. There's a few different builds that do well, and then they got the Twin Lance.
So good for 160 points.
So these, points finally dropped. 160 points, move 10, T6, 4 up invulnerable save with a 2 up save, 8 wounds each, so 2 models in a unit. They've got these incredible guns that they use both shooting and
leadership 6.
Yeah, 6 is
on an army that does not have that.
Yes, yeah. So good, really good leadership. Deep strike, scouts 8. They ignore cover or have sustained hits. They have. What is it? They give they dish out a battle shock, and then if you fail or pass that battle shock, it's still -1 to your charge rolls. And then at the end of the fight, now please, can we zoom in on the wording here, Tim? Because it's really important for those who don't know. At the end of the fight phase, this unit can either make a normal move of up to 6 inches or a fallback move. So that means it works in your fight phase and it works in your opponent's fight phase. So this thing scouts 8 inches, moves 10. Was it in experimental cadre? It can.
If you are playing retaliation card,
that's it.
You can fire and fade, which is your full movement. So you get another 10.
Yep.
And that's in the shooting phase.
Yes. So then you can move another 6 inches in your fight phase, or fall back. Now I do think me and Sam were talking about this earlier. So if you don't know, Sam's a very, very, very good type player. He's handed me my ass on several occasions. Although we did have a 69-69 draw at the Brighton GT. Nice. I do think that the melee weapons element of this data sheet is a bit of a trap. I think if you there's a couple of extra attacks in there. I think you probably, if you've got like a tank that's there or a transport with a couple of wounds left on it, you probably charge. I think if people send with this, they're going to find themselves in a trap.
Well, yeah, but you get to do the charge move and then you get to fall back. So you're moving, say you're averaging 7 for your charge move. You then move 10 off.
Yes, yeah.
So, and then you consolidated and paladin.
Exactly.
So you
probably charge. Yeah, exactly. You charge if there's 3 scouts left. You charge.
Oh, you just exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not necessarily a quote unquote melee unit, is it? So
no, it's just more like it's one of the few units in the Tau books that's not crew, where you actually get to enjoy the extra movement you get charging allows. Yeah.
So
it just moves so far, like
so good. You can in a turn, you can go basically from your home. It's like 34 inches.
You could scout 8, move 10, advance 6, which you can control.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. Then scoot.
And scoot, and then move 6.
Yeah. And then charge, and then move 6.
Yeah.
So charge you give up this.
You got okay. So is it shoot and scoot if you advance?
Yeah, because I don't think there's any way to get advanced shoot and charge on a Tau model. You can get it for crew, you can't get it for model.
Okay. That's
and you get
60 points.
You get all these guns.
Yeah.
You get 2 of some of them.
Yeah. Do you get drones on them?
Yeah, they've got gooder drones.
Yeah.
So the drones have the twin pulse blasters, which are strength 6, AP 1, damage 1, which is the same as like a big burst cannon, but with less shot.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them. They're twin link. They're assault. They're just cute.
Okay.
They're only 10 inch range.
Now.
So Tau, they already could kill a C'tan.
Yes.
They can kill Horde.
Yeah. They got very, very, very.
You just skipped over the melter that you have in.
Yes, no,
exactly. There's a melter that you can use in combat. It's one shot, hits and pause.
Yeah.
But it's a melter you can use in combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes, very, very, very good. So Tau players, I think you're very strong now. I think you're a good 8 or 9. I think there's multiple builds you can build into. Twin Lancers, you can use that in many different ways. You can use it as a bit of early game skirmish, which they kind of lacked. I think Tau are really, really strong.
Cool.
I'm going to give Tau a 9.
I'm just excited to see Tau on the table some more.
Yeah. Codex Thousand Suns represents the Scintillating Legion. Changes. Still very, very good army. Still a glass hammer. Been performing very highly if you're a high level player. I think they'll get 7 out of 10. I think it's one of those Thousand Suns is one of those armies that people like new players tend to like, and they're like, oh god, this is really difficult. I think they're still quite strong. Again, in the right hands. Same as Sisters, same as Eldari. Good, but can get smashed to pieces very easily if you're not good.
They're quite hard to play against when you haven't played against them before because everything does a bit more damage than you expect.
Yeah.
But once you get your head around it,
Bolters are AP4. Oh,
yeah.
It's like Death Company. Oh, no, sorry, not Death Company. Deathwatch get good bolters. Thousand Suns get gooder bolters. It's that's lore accurate.
Yeah, they haven't been setting the meta on fire, and they are going to continue to not do that, which is also true for Tyranids.
Yes. They also got a new unit. Everyone thinks it's rubbish.
They got a new unit. I think it's rubbish.
Yeah.
You think it's rubbish. Everyone else thinks it's rubbish.
Yeah.
It is quite cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's this Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip. He can attach to gaunts, among other things, but I think the thing that's interesting is attaching him to 20 gaunts.
Yeah.
And then he gives them a surge move.
Mm-hmm.
And most things can't pick up 20 models in one activation.
Yeah.
So you attach them to the gaunts that give you advance and charge.
Mm-hmm.
They already have surge move, don't they?
Not only in some detachments.
That's it, right? Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So I guess So you can put the line of gaunts.
It's a jail piece.
Jail piece.
Tyranids have lots of jail pieces, and now they have more. That's the only interesting thing I can think about to do with this guy.
Shooty gaunts sustained.
Yeah.
Don't care about shooty gaunts is rubbish.
I don't know whether he does enough for the point though, right? Like, because can you get how much is 10 shooty gaunts? Where are they? The
termagants are 60 points for 10.
Where you get 10 more, right?
So if you're not taking it for the sustain, I don't think.
No, exactly. I mean, suddenly like weight of dice, which will do okay, but Tyranids. Sorry, guys, you got an all right character.
And the surge thing I'm talking about is only good against like shooting phase only armies. So against Tau, these guys can tag you and jail you and be annoying, but you fly anyway.
They'll just tag the Twin Lance and get absolutely clarted. So Tyranids 5 out of 10. No real changes. They don't seem to have improved.
Which is a shame because they're one of the coolest armies that Games Workshop have ever made.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Is that everything? Oh no.
Well, do World Eaters count?
Yeah.
No changes to World Eaters.
Yes. No changes to World Eaters.
5 points off a Forge Fiend.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. Yeah, Forge Fiends. Yeah, Forge Fiends got quite egregiously tapped, didn't they? When they were, they're still a very good shooting platform in an army that's traditionally been, just combat. And we have seen the new Defilers, and we don't know what they're going to be like. They were quite famously shown under like the different Chaos Legions when they revealed the model. So you never know. There's it's very possible that EC, Thousand Suns, Death Guard, and World Eaters have suddenly got a really good shooting platform.
It's very, very big.
It is huge.
The picture of it next to that knight, it's almost the same size as a big knight.
Yeah.
So
it's still going to be on that giant, enormous base, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah, and previously, obviously, you could move it a lot easier because it didn't have the base, even though they then added a base to the tournament companion. So it was really easy to like jank around terrain and what have you. And because it didn't, old pivot rules, pivot rules changed, and then it didn't really happen for them. So there's a possible caveat about Defilers around a lot of the Chaos armies. However, I think World Eaters, one of those armies that lots of people in the UK tend to love, but I think they're probably a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
didn't get much love. 6, 7 again.
I've been saying this is the last dataslate of the edition because it probably is, but it's not that like the edition's static. We're getting new books and new detachments.
No, exactly.
Is the Defiler coming out this edition?
Yes, I think the Defiler will,
and that's going to go.
I think that will come with the Eye of Terror, whatever the new. There's obviously the new book.
Yeah, the new Maelstrom.
Yeah, the new Maelstrom.
Space Marines finally getting some new detachments in that book. They deserve some love. The Defiler probably won't shake up the meta. But I'm going to make a prediction right here, right now. The reason the Defiler is not going to shake up the meta is because you can't play it because the base is too big.
Yes.
Here's my prediction: 11th, everything will move through walls.
Yeah,
I'm confident of that.
And that's the other rumor that there's a lot of things circulating about 11th edition, and the big rumor is that actually objectives won't be little maps anymore; they will be pieces of terrain. So, I've heard utterings about GW wanting to control the terrain a little bit more in the next edition. So maybe having objective markers that are pieces of terrain, you heard it first, is they're trying to control terrain a little bit more. If that's the case, then what happens to WTC, what happens to UKTC, etc. We do not know.
Well, that's good. Didn't I say just last week, Games Workshop put more effort into balancing the terrain formats for competitive, and I'll play it. I think that would be good.
No, exactly. So is that everyone? I think that is now.
That is
everyone.
Bloody point. That's every
people still with us. Do you think C'tan have been hit hard enough? Do you think Necrons will continue to be the kings of the meta, the silent kings of the meta? Whack it in chat now. I think overall it was some all right data slate. I think I think a lot of factions just didn't get the love that they wanted. Tim, I think Sam is going to be very, very happy. I think
Sam.
He's got a shit-eating grin.
I'm playing against Tim next week.
Yes.
And I'm going to be bringing the Storm.
The lads. Yeah, no, exactly.
And
okay, I'll bring my Space Marines and we'll see how they do. So, okay, question for you boys. Let's hypothetically the new detachments and stuff that are coming in these new books. Let's say it's all terrible. It doesn't change the meta at all. So let's say what we've looked at today is the meta for the rest of the edition.
Yeah.
What are you bringing to try and win a tournament?
Time.
You don't have any Tau.
No, exactly. I think I think I will probably play Awakened Necrons think it's probably still a bit broken. Jeff, literally, as I was thinking that, has just said it in the chat.
Yeah.
I think people are saying C'tan and Marines didn't get enough.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think Marines are still...
I'm still bringing Ultramarines.
Yeah, I think Marines are probably at the bottom of the top, if that makes sense at this moment in time. Like I said, if Gravis Calgar is gone, if
He's
old
not.
Captain...
He's not.
We co-proceed.
Opium, Tim.
No, exactly. Shall I get you a little brown bag?
He's not gone.
Yeah, but if he is, and Captain Sikaris is gone, then I think they're dropping a little bit more than if they stick around. I will miss Gravis Calgar, I'm not going to lie to you. I think Terminator Calgar... I think the thing is actually, Terminator Calgar is still a really good data sheet. He's just been hidden by the exceptional data sheet that is Gravis Calgar.
He doesn't come with 2 boys that you can tank 4-up invulns on.
Yeah, exactly. 4-up.
That's so good.
If they change the rule, or change his data sheet so that he had a 4-up feel no pain as long as Victrix Honor Guard was still alive, and he could attach to... Well, he still can. That was the other rumor that was flying around, obviously, that Marnius can no longer attach to Victrix.
That would be so dumb.
Do that.
No, I mean, he can't attach if he's not got a data sheet, can he? So maybe they were right in a way. But yeah, if you made it so he had a 4-up feel no pain as long as he's attached to Victrix Honor Guard, the unit, then fine. I think he'd still be a really, really strong data sheet. I'm not sure. Our man Ham Sandwich says Marines, Crons, are Guard are top 3. I'm gonna go Guard, Crons, Marines. No, Guard, Crons, Tau, Marines.
No, I don't think Guard. I think Tau are like 4.
Nick refuses to admit that Marines are strong.
No. I think they are still really, really strong. I think they're less smooth brain now. They're less like put loads of stuff out and can you deal with it. I think that style has gone a little bit. But Salamanders are still really, really good. The Blades lists are probably still really, really good. I think, like I said, instead of Wardens, you go back to the Grav Cap. I think you probably... I think we might see a resurrection of G-Man as well. I think G-Man double Vindicator might be the way.
If this is it,
bring him back to us.
Yes.
If this is it for the Victrix nerfs, I reckon I'm getting another 6.
Yes, I think. And Tom, that's also why Tom doesn't like Marines, because he got his bum handed to him by 2x6, didn't he? Should have learned to deal with them.
Yeah.
But no. So yeah, it's been a slate. We will see how this plays out in the next few weeks. There are a few events coming up. Should we do? I think I feel we've done a lot of
points. Let's do a quick hobby corner.
Let's do a quick hobby corner,
and then we'll wrap up and let you guys go.
Yes. We did plan a little special on kit bashing actually for this show, but then obviously the slate dropped today. So everyone, if you've been contributing to the Discord, thank you so much. There's been some great explanations about your kit bashes in there. We will do that in 2 weeks' time for the next show. Everyone else who's tuned in, and I know we've got a few new followers because thanks to Sam's fantastic work on the shorts and everything, we went a little bit viral on TikTok this week, and so we've got a few new followers and stuff. So a few new people tuned in today. So thank you for that. But if you haven't already, join the Discord, add to Hobby Corner, and also there's that Kit Bash Corner now. So add in your kit bashes. Me and Tim will be talking through some of our work, and you guys have dropped a lot of stuff in there as well. So Ham Sandwich. Boy, Tom, 15 total Victrix ruined my weekend. I mean, I'll ruin anyone's weekend if I'm honest with you. But he is adamant that Marines will stay above Tau. I'll bet you your Emperor's children I'll meet up. Right.
Yeah, I want to say about the kit bashing, like Nick said, I made a little channel called Kit Bash Corner. There it is there. We want to do a whole episode of kit bashing, and I want to hear from you. First of all, I want to see pictures of your bits boxes because I want to see how messy they are.
Yeah, you guys have got something.
And I just want to hear what people's motivation for kit bashing is. Are you trying to save money? Are you trying to make a unit that doesn't exist, or you don't like the model? Just tell me about why and how you kit bash, and we're going to do a whole episode on it.
Exactly. So is this Mr. Pringles?
But for now, I think we got here last episode.
Yeah, I think we did. Brandon's already changed your color scheme on that, so let's move on.
This isn't Brandon. This is someone else's memory. Yeah, this is Dingle Dangle. I really like this guy. He's got a nice yellow bee coloured, and also I think this is deliberate shiny carapace versus more matte colour, which I really like when people do different like finish on their paint. So that's really cool. Love Votann. Rob has now we've
got the dragons, so they're like the new things that are slightly egregious in Old Blood, aren't they? They're so cool.
Yeah, this is the dragon. It's a wizard lady that turns into a dragon. So she has a model where she's in a similar pose and as a human form. For his Cathay army. Yeah. You need to clean your lens on your camera, Rob, but apart from that, very cool. Really cool.
Foggy where he is.
Exactly. Paddy Mick is back with his excellence yet again. This is his. He's got his own law.
Yeah, this is really cool. Like it's kind of like Raptors, where it's like sensible Marines.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the unit big curses.
Yeah, really cool.
Favorite units.
I like this. Look,
like bullet been done.
Bullet damage over there. Yeah. Yeah. See, in the game that wouldn't happen if this guy got shot with 6 bullets. He'd be dead. But,
yes. Yeah. I was Luke, sorry, who's dropped his sport in there. So
Luke's working on World Eaters,
shouts to Luke, fantastic GT last weekend. Big shouts to Max Pringle Prongle. They call him Max Pringle because he's hung like a Pringle can. He won Best Sport and Best Xenos, so well done, Max. One of our most improved players at the Brighton club as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Big shout.
But this is not Max, this is Luke, who ran the event.
Didn't Brandon win Best Xenos?
Oh, no, sorry, he won Best Chaos. Yeah, so Best Chaos, yeah. Brandon won Best Xenos because I gave him a draw at the end.
I really like the like skin on these spawn. Like it's got this kind of very like translucent, like layered look to it. Which I think is really cool. Luke said it was all streak and grime, but I think it's better than that.
It's in golden 8-bound.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah. We've seen these before. They're very grimdark, very nice. Yeah. Love it, Luke. More dingle dangles. I'm going to show this off as well because the face on this dude is amazing.
Yeah, 5 o'clock shadow.
Really good 5 o'clock shadow, yeah.
That Giga Chad guy.
Yeah.
What that means.
Yeah. That's just, really impressed with that face. I cannot paint a face. Not a human face anyway. I paint an orc face, no problem.
Yeah,
yeah, really cool.
It's like he's mogging.
Yeah, he does a little bit, doesn't he? His angel maxing. Bit of Tim's work. Fantastic. Good.
This is my Great Unclean one.
Great Undergrowth one as well.
Great Undergrowth one proxy for my Taliban Death Guard army. I could put more work into it, but I think it's good enough.
It looks great. It's such a lovely palette.
And so this Nurgling is telling a story around the fireplace, and the other guys are watching. So that's the facing scheme.
Lovely. I love it. Well,
that's so good, mate. Yeah, that's so cute.
The first week where I've not contributed, but I will be contributing for the Kitbash.
I'm going to be posting more of this army because I'm going to try and get it finished as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah, we got more
Marines
from Paddy Mick. Oh yeah, he said he'd done it like for the Reavers, did a slightly darker camo scheme, which is nice. I really like that.
Yeah, I enjoy Phobos in a slightly different colour scheme.
Yes, yours are going to have that, aren't they?
And then Zach
Hawk has just shared some.
So yeah, Zach does his own 3D kind of rendering, modelling, etc.
Which is why all his towers so cool.
Yeah, so he's done some like underslung kind of. His version of Twin Lance.
Yeah. Zach, please post that when it's assembled and painted and stuff. I really like this. So Ushar's done. I think this is a Blood Bowl zombie or skeleton. And he said he painted it using like a constrained palette.
Yes,
one of the John Blanche sets. Yeah. Which I really want to buy.
Yeah,
I want to buy a John Blanche affiliated.
John Blanche.
Yeah.
That to me, that colour, that is the hearts back to.
It is very Blanche, isn't it? Like
exactly. Me as a young lad, and like, what was it? 2nd or 3rd edition cover that was very like that.
Yeah.
That colour set.
The Zorn palette is called reds and yellows.
Yeah.
and a tiny bit of green.
No,
here's
Barry.
Here's Brandon's Barry.
But he has, since this was posted, he has. Is it? Yes, it has. I switched.
Yeah. So we were workshopping the paint scheme on WhatsApp today, and Brandon implemented our suggestions, and it looks wicked.
And Matt made the
little highlights
carapace on the base the same color as well. So there's like a lot of blue there. Yeah.
I suggested putting the blue here, and I think I was right.
I think you were.
Looks amazing, Brandon. And then I think finally, maybe not finally, So Freemania, we showed a lot of these different miniatures from the Warhammer Quest box. First of all, I'm just impressed that he's painted. They're all in such different styles, right?
Yeah.
I can't paint this many types. Like, it takes me ages to figure out one scheme.
Why you got yellow titties?
Yeah, I said I was highlighting freehand nipples.
I love that.
Freehand nipples. That's got to be the best thing.
So we've got sculpted
we promised nipples in the Discord.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Who was going to do? Was it
Max?
Max?
Yeah.
Max, you were going to sculpt and paint some nipples.
So you
Dan has beaten you to it.
Dan can paint them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max. We got good nipples ages ago, man. What are you doing?
More kit. These have come in since I've been sat in this room. More kit bashes from
Chaplain/Judicio, I'm assuming, by the looks of it.
From Rob, that looks sick. Oh, and we can finally see the scheme is coming together in the background.
Big rumour, 11th edition, Legion of the Damn Kill Team coming out. So maybe
that is crazy.
I will buy that box in a second.
I kind of like that they're just like this ethereal thing that you never have models. I mean, obviously they had like paint.
Yeah, you had a couple of units, and then you had was it Sergeant Centurious? I think he was the special edition.
Yeah, and he was holding a scout. Very cool model. Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't like that they. I like the fact that they can look like anything.
Yeah,
there's something.
This is how I feel about Primarchs.
Yes.
Put me on the big screen. It's time for a rant. Right. Okay. The Emperor is God. The Primarchs are the sons of God, right? And Space Marines are Christians. So it's important, Nick, get in. It's important that the Primarchs are a myth that they can believe in. They can't be real dudes running around hitting people with swords.
So
it was better when the Primarchs were not models.
Emperor Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that Emperor the sons of?
They're the sons of God, right? The Primarchs.
That's right. Yeah, no. So
and they literally died for our sins, us being the Space Marines. They weren't supposed to come back for real and start running around
Tim, you're not a Space Marine.
With double oath. Am I not? All right. Okay.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for listening to my rant. Let's go back to Discord. We've got one more picture to show. It's our very own Sam. Our very own Sam's beautiful town.
Some chicken.
This guy's posed.
He looks like he's fishing like this. He's like, he's just resting. He's just.
Oh, and this is new. This snow effect, right?
So this snow effect. This is what this Discord's good for. This. I was asking people like what have they used before for good snow. I had some 20-year-old flop from GW.
Yeah.
Which still worked, but I wasn't getting the result I wanted. So was suggested this is AK. It's the snow diorama texture paste with the micro balloons on top. And the micro balloons, I really felt like I was going to get super ill from them.
It's just like asbestos base.
They are so small, and you put your like a tool into them to pick them up, and it just feels like nothing's there.
Okay,
and then you inhale it,
and then you're just putting it on, you're tapping it off and stuff. And I felt like it was in my lungs. I could feel it, and I felt a bit ill afterwards. And I felt like I have to kind of get out of this room and like walk my dog.
Exactly.
I felt weird.
Well,
I had a cigarette and then felt better.
I've got great stuff.
It looks amazing, and if you die, it will have been worth it.
Yeah, exactly. At least you got on.
Look at these cool boys.
A slightly rude podcast, basically.
Yeah. Right. That's it for Hobby Corner. There are no more points to talk about.
Yeah. Was the slate good? I'm not sure. We will see in the coming weeks. Big shout to the sponsors. Big shouts to Jeff. We've got a new WTC tournament teams event coming soon, which all will be revealed in the next few weeks. But it's great news. We've got some fantastic news about the channel coming in 2 weeks as well. We will be sponsoring some people who are very good at Warhammer, and we're very, very happy to be doing it. Big shout out to Incursion events. Big shout out to Pete at Brighton. Pete's got a RTT at the end of this month, Sunday the 28th of March, I do believe.
Yeah, that weekend, Incursion...
Have one on Saturday.
Incursion events have, yes, an RTT on the 28th of March, Saturday in Lancing, and then Pete, Brighton... What's the events called? Brighton Wargame tabletop events.
It's just Brighton GT or Brighton.
Yeah, GT. Brighton RTT on the Sunday, the day after, at the King and Queen in Brighton.
Yeah.
So you can do two.
What are the dates for those two?
28th and 29th of March.
Okay.
So 28th is Incursion in Lancing. 29th is King and Queen in Brighton.
Yeah.
Also Death and Glory. Death or Glory, sorry. Big ups to you guys. They have RTT on the 18th of April, which is incidentally my birthday. So
that's in Ashstead in Surrey.
That's correct, yes.
And you can go to deatholglory.org to find that one.
You kind of do. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a marginally eventful one. I'm not sure it's quite a day slate we all needed or wanted, but who knows? I think our Necron Overlords will still be here.
I liked it.
Yeah, you liked it. Sam liked it. Sam liked it. Tim's quite happy with his Piss Marines. We will see you again in 2 weeks' time. We'll be doing a Kit Bash show, and we'll have some fantastic news about the channel. Thank you for joining us. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.